Hello everyone. I've now set up the medium Sudoku, so what I've done here, like I do with most of the mediums, is I take this grid, I throw it into this thing called fpuzzles.com, and what this grid allows me to do is I can have corner notation or center notation. And corner notation is usually when I have 2 or 3 places for a given number within a given box or row or column. And sometimes I get myself confused if I try and use 2 or more of those. Center notation is when I have all possible candidates for a cell, but it may extend across a box, a row, or a column. In other words, I haven't exactly isolated it to a given box yet. And since I may have things in adjacent boxes where it could be in different rows, there could be more than 2 possible candidates. And therefore, I don't quite know enough to narrow things down just yet. The other thing I did in some of my more recent puzzles was I used highlights to know when I had known good digits after I deduced them. In case I made mistakes, I could more easily retrace it without clicking the undo button an endless amount of times. And plus, it helps me see the grid and have more contrast better. My eyes are still recovering from a recent surgery. So, with all that in mind, this is the New York Times Medium Sudoku for Wednesday, July 5th. And when I click on this mode setting, it will start the clock. And let's give this a shot, shall we? So, here's a 9 and here's a 9. 9 is in one of 2 places in box 9. It can't be here because of the given. So because I've narrowed it down to one of 2 places in this box specifically, there's a 9 in box 3 and a 9 in box 6. I know that a 9 must be in one of these 2 cells, and that means these other 5 that are not filled yet and that are now highlighted, none of those cells can contain a 9. So that's going to help when I probably inevitably have to fill out the rest of this grid. Because if there's a more efficient way to do this, I haven't figured it out just yet. So normally on the easy ones, I like to start with things with 6 digits in it, but we don't get that in the mediums. So I have to look for things with 5 or maybe even 4 digits. And the first thing that comes to mind when I look at that is row 9, which has 5 digits filled in. So I know what the other 4 must be. To wit, 1, 5, 6, and 8. Now, this cell can't be 8 because it's in the box. This one actually can be anything. This one isn't 1. And this one isn't 1 or 8. Well, that helps, because I'm down to 2 candidates. Now, normally I'm able to write in at least one of these digits. I may not be able to do that here. Next thing that comes to mind is column 6 and 7. In column 6, I have 4 digits filled in. The remaining ones are 1, 2, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, this one can't be 1 by row or 5 by box. These ones are not 1 or 6 by box. This one also by the row. This one can't be 4 because it's in the row. This one can be anything, there's nothing else pointing at it. It's the only thing I filled in row 7, and 9, 7, 8, 3 are not the given digits yet in column 6. This one can't be 2, but somewhat annoyingly can be just about anything else. Okay, in here, I have 2, 3, 4, and 9 in column 7. 1, 5, 6, and 8 left to fill in because that's what I put down for row 9, but there's also 7 in there. Now, this one has nothing else pointing at it just yet. This one can't be 1 or 7 or 8. This one can't be 1 or 6. But yes, it could be anything else. This one can't be 1 or 5 or 8. Really? That can be 5 or 6. But this is 6 or 7. That's annoying. Well, I may as well mark a 1 in one of 2 places. But the 7 is across a box, so are the 6, and the 5, and the 8. Wow, I've done all I can there. Okay, let's try something else. Row 6, I have 1, 7, 8, 9 filled in. I need 2 through 6 inclusive. This one is not 4 by column 6 by the box. This one, those 2 digits are out for the same reason. This one, 2, 3, 6 are out. But it could still be 4 or 5. Am I going to have to fill in the whole grid? There has to be something I'm missing. Oh, there's a 6 and there's a 6. Well, duh, that has to be a 6. I could have just written that in from the start. Silly me. Okay, that's a 6. That tells me that's 7. So that's not 7. This one, what did I fill in? 6 and 7. This one is not 6. Well, if I could eliminate one of these cells from being a 1, I'd be home free, and thus able to fill in the rest of this column, but I can't do that. Well, let's see. 6, this is not 6, and I could have just done that right from the get-go. Let's see, are there any other obvious digits I can fill in? There's a 7 and there's a 7. That puts a 7 in one of 2 places in box 1. This 9 and that 9 puts a 9 in one of 2 places in box 1. 4, 1, okay, 1. Well, this one and this one forces it in the bottom. This one tells me it is not here, so 1 is there in box 2. Which doesn't help much beyond that. But I can fill in the rest of box 2 now. 1, and the odd digits except 3. So I need 2, 4, 6, 8, and 3 to fill in box 2. Now, this one isn't 2 or 3. These 2 are not 8. Additionally, this is not 6. 2, 3, 4 still look possible. This one, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8. Okay, I can get rid of the 6. And 4. But 2, 3, and 8 are very much still possible. Yeah. And I have way too many places for a whole bunch of these digits. Including 8. So I can't mark any of these things with corners just yet. Poop. But box 3 now has 5 digits, so maybe I'll be able to make some headway there. 3, 4, 5, 6 to fill in. Whoa. This was in highlight mode. Whoops. Okay, that can't be 4. But 3, it's not 5 either. Okay, 3 or 6 still look possible. This one, well, 1, 2, 9's in the column, and 1, 8, 9, so that could be anything. This one gets rid of 3, but nothing else, and that one also gets rid of 3, and you guessed it, nothing else. May as well fill in the rest of row 1 while I'm at it. I've only got 2 cells left that don't have anything else filled in. 1, 4, 5, 7, 9 tells me I need 2, 3, 6, and 8 as possible candidates now. This one isn't 3 by what's in the box, but anything else is still possible. This one actually isn't 2, 3, or 6. It is 8, and that's a write-in. Well, now I feel like I thought I was getting somewhere. But when I get rid of that's not 8, that's not 8, I now have 2 different pairs of digits. But what that does tell me is where 8 goes in box 2, it has to go here. Okay, now, one of these things must be a 9, so 1, 2, 3, 7, 8 in row 3. I need 4, 5, 6, and 9 left to fill in, and neither can be a 4 because it's in the box. But either of these can be 5, 6, or 9. Okay, well, oh, wait a minute. This can't be 4, and this can't be 4. So 4 is definitely here in row 3. Since that's also in box 3, I know this is not 4. But that doesn't help much beyond that. When I fill in the rest of column 8, I think I'm still going to have multiple candidates for everything. Okay, in row 2, I only have 2 digits left. 1, 3, 4, 8 are filled in. I need 2, 5, 6, 7, 9 in my candidates. Now, neither can be 9. That doesn't work. 2, 5, 6, 7 are still possible here. Here, it's definitely not 2 or 6. Oh, this is annoying. I was hoping I was going to get some more headway after this, but am I done with my write-in digits? I hope not. Well, maybe I'm not. There's a 1 and there's a 1. I need a 1 in box 4. It has to go in the top, but not here. It goes there. But that's it for the middle 3 rows. In the bottom 3 rows, I may get some headway. There's a 3 and there's a 3. 3's in one of these spots, but not here, so a 3's in one of those two. 9, I only have 1 of. 7, I only have 1 of. 2 here and here. Puts a 2 in one of these 2 spots. Box 8. 4. Actually, that could still be 2. Poop. A 4. I only have 1 of. Yeah, I've got 2 3s and I placed it. I have 2 2s and I placed it. Now, let's see. Here's a 1 and here's a 1. That puts a 1 in the right in box 7, and it's one of those two. 8 and 8 goes there, and 8 is in the middle of box 4, and it has to go in one of these two spots. The last medium puzzle I did, I had 5 or 6 digits in a lot of places I could write in far more things than now, so I wonder what I'm missing. But be that as it may, okay, that may be all I get from looking at rows and columns and groups of 3. Let's try looking at more boxes. In box 6, I have 5 digits placed. 5 and 8 are 2 of the remaining 4 that I need, along with 2 and 3. Now, these ones don't have any of the digits in the row, but that one can't be 2 because it's in the column. These ones can't be 8. Everything else only has a 1 and a 6 pointing at it. So these still have a lot of candidates. These ones are not 1, 7, or 8. But 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9 are still possible. Now, neither of them are 2 and 3 because they're in the box. But 4, 5, 6, 9, any of them are still possible. Wow. I thought I'd be able to just write in a few more digits here. In box 5, I have 1, 6, and 8 placed. 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 have not been placed. These are not 4. This is not 7. No, that's not 5. Neither is that. Better get rid of the corners here. Okay, do I have any other remedy other than filling in the whole grid? I'm not sure. Are there any digits I can place? Okay, here's a 9, and here's a 9. I need a 9 somewhere in box 5. It has to go on the left. For some reason, I never filled it in there. But 9 is also one of the candidate digits, except, oh, that can't be 9. Okay, so that's 9, that's 9. That limits it to there, but it can't be here because of this 9. Forces a 9 there. This can't be 1, 4, 6, or 9. Could be 2, 3, 4, 5, or 7. Looking at columns, it can't be 4. Usually I'm able to write in a lot more digits without having to fill in the entire grid with all the possible candidates. Yeah, I really can't do much of anything with box 4 yet. I've only got 2 things in box 4, and this row 5 also has 2 things in it. Not a whole lot that points at it. Let's try the middle columns, if that helps. These can't be 1, 6, 7, or 9. 2, 3, 4, 5, 8. Of which this can't be 2, 3, or 8. One can be anything because I haven't filled out a single thing in row 7 yet. That one of these two has to be a 1. 2, these can't be 2, 3, or 8, but 1, 4, 5, 6, 9. So possible, of which this is not 1, 5, or 9. Either these are 4. One also isn't 1. This one's also not 6. Annoying that this is 4 or 5 and this is 4 or 6. Oh well, this one tells me that can't be 1. And the people have been probably been shouting at me for the last 10 minutes. Oh well, that can't be 1 either. Same reason it's at a given staring at it. Oh, and it can't be 2. That's been right in 4 for the last 5 minutes. No, except that doesn't work. No, I've put myself into a problem here. That's not right. Because I've got 4, 2, and 1 all pointing at it. That can't be any of those things. It can't be 2, 3, 4, 7, 9. Based on the row. So 1, 5, 6, 8. It can't be 1 or 8. This is the other 5 or 6. Okay, that's another breakthrough I was looking for because I have a 5, 6 pair here. I know one of these has a 5, one of these is 6. That means nothing else in row 9 can be a 5 or a 6. So assuming this pencil marking is right, it's not 5 or 6, that's an 8. Now, this can't be 5 because of the pair looking at where the 8, which I just placed, that's a 1. Now, this can't be 1 or 8. That's 5. This is not 5. It's not 5, and that actually places the 6 here. That's 6. That puts a 5 there. I finally have a 9-digit sequence of digits. Okay, that's 6 telling me neither of these are 6. So I now have a 4-9 pair looking at it. He's looking up. This can't be 4 because of the 4-9 pair, and it can't be 6 because I just placed it, so I have a 5 there. Which means that's not 5. And these aren't 5. Okay, 6, 9, nothing else in box 1 can be a 6, so that's a 2. Oh, this number 6. This can't be 2 or 6. Okay, so these are down to 5 or 7. Yay. So that tells me that's not 5. Because I've got a 5, 7 in the row looking at it.
5 at the bottom.
Since I have a 3, 6 here, this isn't 6. So therefore that's a 4. Oh, 5, 8. No, that's, you guys have been shouting at me for the last 5 minutes. The only digit left in column 7. Duh. Okay, so that's not 8. And these can't be 5. So 2, 3, 1 tells me that's a 5, which has also been sitting there for the last 5 minutes. Okay, 3, 6 also happens to be in this column. That tells me that's a 7, because it's the only other digit that's left to be placed. It simply can't be anything else. Okay, the right third of the grid looks right, so now I can do a lot of other things, like that 5 tells me that's a 2. That tells me that's a 3, that's a 2. It's now not 2 or 3. If my markings are right, that's 7. That puts the 8 there. Yeah. 8. That's an 8. And this can't be an 8, so yeah, 8, box 8 has to go here. But my markings and all the other given and placed 8. Let's see. This one's not 2 or 5.
Why's it gotta be a 3?
Okay, my wife is saying that this is a 3. Oh, duh. She scans the grid better than I do, so one of these days I'll let her try one of these things. That's a 3, that's what's out. Oh. Actually write things in. That sorts out the 6, 3 there, and that takes care of box 3. Okay, that 3 tells me this can't be 3. Well, it never could have been 3 degrees. And this is a 2. Oh, this sequence of digits is so annoying. Let's see what I can clean up. That's not 7 or 2. That's not 2 or 3. Okay, 4 or 5 pair in this column tells me that can't be 4. So that's a 2. And has been de facto serving as a right end for a while. That tells me that's not 2. Okay, 4, 6 in this column tells me that's not 4. It's a 3. 4, 6 here tells me this is the one digit left that isn't a placed or a 4 or a 6. That's a 2. of course, this isn't 2, but I'm down to 2 things left in the box, and everything else is filled in. Well, yay. Let's see, these are not 1, 2, 3, 6, or 8. So without looking at anything else, 4, 5, 7, or 9, then we start looking at columns. That's not 4 or 5. That's not 4. Basically, that can still be anything. I was really hoping to not have to fill in the entire grid, but 2, 5, 7, 8 in a row, and also 4 by the box. 4, 5, 7, 8 are taken. These are 1, 3, 6, and 9 in some fashion, of which this is not one. Neither is that. That's not 3 or 6. And this is
That has to be 9. That has to be 1 because you have 4, 9 in the other 5.
I have 4, 9 here, but everything else in column 9 and box 9 are filled in. Oh, well, this 5 has told me that that's not 5. Okay, so these are a 1, 9 pair. That means well, I'm really hoping I did this right because I think I marked something wrong because that's not 9, which means that has to be 5.
5. That has to be 5. Because there are 5 in the box.
1, 9 tells me that's 6. 5. 4, 5.
4, 6.
4, 6. Okay, so that's 6. We'll sort these out. My markings are right. That's 4. That's 5.
Which means that's 9.
And that's 4. And that 4 tells me that's a 9. Which tells me that's a 1. And that's a problem. Well, that's a problem. Well, I'm saying this has to be 1, 4, 5, or 6, but they're all here. Let's see, what else can I do? If these are right, then these aren't 5. The top third of the grid's right. I know the right third of the grid is right. I need to figure out what else I may have marked wrong.
There's a 7 in here.
I can't go there. not marked 7 in row 8. Putting a 4 there doesn't help me. You know, 1's down here. And so I can't do anything else with. Column 3.
Five, seven, 9, 4.
Okay, she's trying to argue that this is 5. You know, I'm trying to figure out what she's seeing that I'm not yet. Oh, no, that 5. Well, that's good. You guys been shouting at me for the last 5 minutes. 7. That's 5. No, it's going to unwind a lot of the rest of the grid because that 7 tells me that's a 9. 9 is going to tell me that neither of these are 9. Okay, she's trying to argue that a 5 goes here. 5 and 1 and a 5 and 3. Yeah, that'll force a 5 in the middle of box 4, which has to be here or here, and I've ruled this out as not having a 5. So that forces a 5 in there. Well, that 5 actually writes in the rest of that row because that's a 4 and that's 7. Now that 4 now looks up here. 6, 4, like so. That 4 now comes down here. 6. You're writing in the 6, not highlighting it. And this is now not 4 or 6. This one can't be 4 or 6, so that's 1, that's 5, that's 4. Okay, that 4 tells me that's a 9. Whoops. And that's a 4. Okay, I now have 2 things left. This can't. 5 or 9 or 7, that's actually a 1. And that forces that to be a 7 because it's the only thing left to fill in row 8. Now, this 2, and shouting at me, but that's a 3. 3, 2. 3 comes down here. This is not 3. That puts a 3 there. 6, fill in column 1. Tells me that's a 9. That now comes down here. The only thing that's left for column 2 is a 6. And the only thing that's left there is 9. Amazingly, I'm down to 2 things. And that 5 will tell me. This was not one of my prettier solves. I think one of these days I ought to let my wife try one of these.